Hello and welcome back to my TV channel. I hope I find you all well, whichever part of the world that you live in watching this video. And I'd like to say a big welcome to my new subscribers who have joined us recently. And also, if you like this video, please hit the like button below it. And please post a comment whether you agree or disagree with what I've got to say. Well, this video is going to be totally about the Carabao Cup final. Liverpool versus Newcastle United. The very first time they met at Wembley was back in 1974 in the FA Cup final, and Liverpool ran out 3-0 winners then. Newcastle on the home front has not won any silverware since 1955. 70 years. That's a long time, a very long time. And I feel for the Geordie supporters. They've gone through some horrific defeats, both in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, by low opposition and even non-league football. So they'll be hoping that they learned something from 2 seasons ago when they were beaten 2-0 by Manchester United, because most of the players that played then will be playing tomorrow. But Newcastle have got their problems. They've got injuries to Hall and Botman, who are out for the season, and Anthony Gordon is suspended, meaning that Harvey Barnes will be playing down the left. Liverpool, on the other hand, they've got problems on the injury front. Trent injured his ankle on Tuesday night and is out. Conor Bradley unavailable. Joe Gomez unavailable. So that means Jarell Quansah will be filling in at right back, I would think. Although Arne Slot will be thinking very, very long and hard about what he's going to do. He does have options in that area, because whatever Endo can play there, and so can Curtis Jones. So it's going to be very interesting what the lineup's going to be. Liverpool, after being knocked out of the Champions League on Tuesday night, had a rest and recovery day on Wednesday, a day off on Thursday, and trained on Friday before boarding the plane down to London. Canate trained and apparently is fit enough to play, but that remains to be seen, because Wembley is unforgiving. If you're carrying an injury or hiding an injury, or you're not 100%, it'll find you out. And whether Canate can manage the full 90 minutes or even 120 remains to be seen. Newcastle, on the other hand, as I've said, were there 2 seasons ago and were beaten by Manchester United. This time they've got Tonale, Gomez and Joe Linton, and if they come with the right attitude and want to play, then they could fire the Geordies up. The Geordie fans will be hoping that they can beat this drought and win it, whether it's over 90 minutes or 120. But it remains to be seen. Liverpool have been to Wembley 14 times. It'll be the 15th time tomorrow for the League Cup / Carabao Cup, and have won it 10 times. Which is rather ironic, because 2 teams have won it on consecutive seasons, one being Nottingham Forest twice, and Manchester United have won it once. Teams that have won it on 4 consecutive seasons, one is Manchester City and the other is Liverpool. If Slot wins this trophy for the very first time in his very first season at Liverpool manager, he'll be following in the footsteps of Joe Fagan, who did it in 1984. I think it's going to be a very tight match, for both sides, for different reasons. My team selection is Alisson, Quansah, Canate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gravenberg, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jota and Luis Diaz. I'd like to see Darwin Núñez start down the front at number 9, but Slot doesn't seem to think that way. Score prediction, well, 1-0 would do it, like they did last season against Chelsea. I don't think so. I think Newcastle are a first half team, and whether the way they perform and score, and I wouldn't put it past them if Isaac opens the scoring for them in the first half, and I think we'll bounce back and take the second half with our performances in the past. So I'm predicting a win for Liverpool 2-1. But it all remains to be seen. It's all on the day. It's a cup final, and you've got to put history aside, especially league form and where they are and what Newcastle are trying to do to get into the top four. So we'll wait and see, and it could be another long wait for the Geordies if they lose.